Hey, what's going on? This is Kerry Sullivan with How to Kick Ass in Sales, and I got a good question the other day, and it's around this topic here of selling the pen. And what happens in a lot of interviews when people go in for a sales interview is sometimes they like to say to you, sell me this pen. Right? And so this person I was talking to wanted to know how exactly I would go about doing that and what was the best way to go about doing that. I don't know about the best way, but I can tell you what's worked for me in terms of getting sales done and how I've learned from other people. I've learned from a lot of other people. I didn't make any of this stuff up. I just practiced it over and over again. It's worked fairly effectively for me. So let's talk about selling this pen. So the first thing I would start off with doing is asking the person who you are selling to or trying to sell to, are they in the market for a pen? If they say no, as far as I'm concerned, there's really no sale to be made in terms of selling the pen. But you could ask them, well, what is it that you like to write with? Maybe they like using crayons, and you can figure out if they're looking for markers or whatever it may be. You can then start asking them questions around that. But let's just assume they say, yes, I am in the market for a pen. Ask them specifically, why is it they are in the market for a pen? And they could give you a lot of different reasons. Well, I lost my favorite one. I'm looking just for a better pen than the one I have because it's no good or whatever it may be. So you can really just delve into that. The other thing I would then ask is, what was your favorite pen ever and why? Right, and they're gonna start telling you all these things. Oh, I had like the best ink ever. It just wrote so smoothly. It just like everything was great about it. I love the color of it. It was like silver on the outside. It was like metal or whatever. So you just really write those things down specifically. Then I would also ask them about the current pen they have, or they're trying to replace, or whatever it may be, and ask them specifically what they like about that pen. Again, that gets them to delve into a little bit more on what they like specifically about a good pen, and then also ask them what is it that they don't like about that pen, right? And so they might start saying, oh, this pen is horrible because it loses ink every 2 days and I have to get a new pen, or whatever it may be, right? So pay attention to that. And then I'd also ask them if they're going to be the only person using this pen, right? And depending on that, there could be a lot of things. You see, when you ask that question, then it opens up maybe into other sales. Well, no, both me and my wife are going to be using this, or actually, no, I'm getting pens for our whole office. There's like 150 other employees at this office. So, right there, that could go into a big contract, right? You could be selling hundreds of pens to a bunch of people just by asking better questions, right? And delving into it. So what I would then do is, because you have information, you want to write down their exact language when you do this as well. Because like on one of the other videos that we were talking about with Tim Tarango there, Mr. Rapid NLP expert, he was telling us about how it's important to use people's language and model back to them what they say. They're going to relate to it on a better level, right? Because, people use sight, smells, taste, sound, all these different things to really relate to things. But when you use their exact language back to them, it's going to make a lot more sense to them, right? So, what you can do then is just feedback. Well, look, let me show you this pen I got. All right, this is a black pen, just like you wanted. It's got the black ink that you like. It's got the silver on the outside, the silver metal that you really like. And unlike that other pen, this pen will last. It's got a guarantee that it'll last for at least 1 month versus those 2 days that was really getting in the way. See, you can start to just kind of form the presentation around their exact needs of what they want, and specifically how it's going to solve the pain point. So in this case, I was giving the example that, hey, that guy's pen ran out in 2 days, right? So you want to make sure that you got something that can solve that and really address that, and go from there. And and you can just keep delving into it. So that's just a basic explanation of how I would go about that, and really getting into asking questions about what they like, what they didn't like, why it was so important to solve that issue in terms of what they didn't like. If there's more than one sale to possibly be made, maybe it wasn't even about a pen, maybe they wanted a crayon, so you just gotta ask a lot of questions, and just listen and write down what they say. And that is how I would handle that question. And if they don't like it and they say you can't get the job because you did a bad job asking questions or whatever, well then you're out of luck. I don't know what to tell you. No, I'm just joking. Just keep at it. And you know, some people, you know, even though a lot of sales experts, you know, might not agree with what I just told you, but in my experience, when someone just talks down and they talk and they talk and they talk and they talk, they're not the top salespeople. The top salespeople I've ever learned from, been with, and when I've noticed that I've had the best luck with sales is because I asked a lot of questions and they did the same thing. So that's all I got. Hey, if you liked listening to me, you liked what you saw, and you get good vibes and feel from this, hey, feel free to subscribe, make any comments you want down below, and I will catch you on the next How to Kick Ass in Sales video. And thanks for watching. Bye-bye.